Podcast starts at 19 seconds.
Welcome to a new episode of Fit the Description, a Black Men's podcast where various Black men come together to talk about life, society, entertainment, culture, news, and whatever else we want to talk about from various Black men's perspectives. I'm your host, G, and today we got B.
What up, y'all?
And we got the return of Jason, who we haven't seen in a while.
Yes, sir, I'm back.
Good to have you back, man. So with that being said, make sure to like and subscribe on your way in. Follow, depending on your platform. Also, check all the links down below to see us on various different podcast platforms. Also, make sure to check out the Clip channel, Fit the Description podcast here on YouTube. And with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get started. I really wanted to bring up this topic with this crew. And the video I want to ask, I know we talked about it, so I'll probably let you go first, Jason, because we already talked about it on the podcast already. But I kind of changed my views on this. But I want to know what your feelings are about AI. Since we got different people who do different artist stuff. Like
Ooh.
I know some people are graphic designer. I know I do video. I know Shibidi, he does a lot of art. So with you, especially because I know you're into music, how do you feel about AI and how does that affect what you're doing? Like, what do you think about it?
That's a very broad
Does
question.
music?
Well, my thoughts on AI, I'm gonna do this in two parts. My thoughts on AI in general, and then how it impacts me in being a musician in the music industry. Oh man, AI to me. So usually when a new technology comes along, in the history of mankind, when we create new technology, there's always a fear, right, that comes with any new invention, just because we don't really know what's going to happen, and we know something's not going to exist anymore. When they created cars and niggas was riding horses no more, it was like, well, it's over, right? But with AI, it's so advanced that I can't even imagine what the implications can be from that, negative or positive. So it is a little frightful because of the possibilities that it has. It's something that it's unlike anything humans have ever created. So I can't really say like, okay, well, don't worry about it. It'll just be like everything else when it evolves. As far as music goes, I mean, I've already heard Drake on so many songs that I know he didn't record. I ain't already heard SpongeBob rapping and beats and stuff being created from AI. I think that when it comes to certain things, as far as like art, I don't think that. I mean, yeah, an AI can So I'm a DJ, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a difference between having an AI DJ and a live person in front of you, talking, engaging with the crowd. There's a difference in someone actually painting a canvas and an AI creating that canvas. I just think there's certain things that human beings will just be better at, in that other human beings will want to consume from another human being. There are certain things that, like jobs that are being taken right now, where it's kind of like, I don't really care if a human does that. Like, all right, I can still kind of get, I can still get that service without needing a human on the other end of it. But I do think it is going to replace, it's already replacing a lot of jobs. And my hope is that it doesn't get so advanced that it overtakes us as human beings, right? Like it doesn't.
That's going to happen. Just like
you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
that's
that's
happen.
the fear, right? That we've seen the movie AI, like that. The fear is that the robots become
we're halfway there.
Yeah, that's the fear.
We're halfway.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I completely agree with that. So like that's kind of my standpoint is like I'm a little neutral because like I say, when the new tech comes out, like I like self-driving cars and electric vehicles. I can see how that can be beneficial in the future because humans, we're kind of stupid. And if we can perfect over time a vehicle that can communicate with another vehicle and make sure they all coexist, and I can see that technology being useful.
The
and
only
not,
way that
you know,
the only way that will happen is if all the cars would be replaced.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, which is
And
gonna. I
that they
mean,
would
well,
have to
that's not
replace
it.
all the cars.
Yeah, and I think that would happen over the, next 20, 30 years. I don't think there will be something else. The vehicles, gasoline vehicles have to evolve anyway, right? Even the car that Henry Ford made ain't the car that we're driving now. So in time, if that's the next best thing for us, then everybody, the electrical vehicles will be just as cheap as going to buy a Kia. You can go get you an EV Kia, and the upgraded package will have self-driving, and it could, potentially be beneficial. But AI as a whole, I mean, look, I use ChatGPT every day. I love it. So, like, can I use it and be beneficial to me? Yes, I use it for my business. It's great, right? But where can that go? I don't know. Who knows?
The thing is, I like that when they make. Okay, I like AI tools. I'll say that tools. I don't. That's fine to me. To tools that can kind of assist, but there's stuff that's basically doing the work for you. Okay, like the art thing. You tell it what to do, and you say, "Hey, I want a hip hop looking Mario," and it's just going to create the. That's a little over the top to me, or like our same thing with music. Make me a melody from such and such. Make me some percussion, and then boom, now that's over with. Then you got the self-driving cars. Before you know it, just like Elon Musk was talking about in his interview, we're going to have an allowance. We're going to have a monthly allowance because there won't be any jobs left.
UBI, which they already implemented in some places in California already.
Well, that's how it have to be. Pretty much everybody will be on county, and that's pretty much it. That's pretty much that's where we're going, because they'll have no choice, because you have to have balance, and that's why we have so many homeless. That's why we have so many people on welfare now. Is what happens when you can't get the high level education? People still need to work. People still need to work. That school, everybody doesn't learn the same. Everybody's not highly educated on that level, or maybe that I won't even say highly educated. They're not highly educated on the level that society feels they should be. They might be educated in something else, like an autistic person who's really good at math, but is completely uncoordinated. It's just, that's kind of how people are. We have things, each person has something that they're good at and that strikes their interest. But society forces us to do this. Nope, you gotta, if you want to survive, you gotta flip burgers. But I don't like to flip burgers. Well, if you don't flip these burgers, you're not gonna be able to pay your rent. So it's like you just want everybody to do things static, and then the more AI that they're making, they can have that. They already have a fully automated McDonald's. If that McDonald's is successful, imagine what the next move is.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, they got self-driving Ubers now. You can they just pick you up. You don't even need to drive. They just fill up. You like, oh, where So it can get really sticky as far as where they can go. I think, like I said, I think there's certain things that are going to be untouched, like sports. Nobody wants to see robots and AI playing baseball, basketball. Like, there's certain things that I think will be untouched, but the vast majority of common jobs that people could do just to make a living will be obsolete.
Oh yeah, you're gonna have to make sure you got some kind of trade and hope that doesn't get taken.
Right. Yeah. So they're already talking about taking over the truck drivers. You thought truck driving was safe. Nah, they got electric self-driving trucks that's gonna be safer, less expensive. Like, it's just certain occupations. You better become a plumber or something.
Right.
So I heard about the trucking thing is they're still going to have a driver, but he's going to be a mechanic to make sure that just in case there's something wrong with the AI, he got to troubleshoot to get that truck going again. So they won't technically be truck drivers, but they'll be more truck mechanics. And what I always say is wherever industry that you're in, you got to get monitoring and understanding in the technological field. And for instance, if you're in let's say the waitress the waiter industry, being a waiter for tables, you gotta learn how to make those applications that they have at every table now, where you don't even need to you don't even need to look at the paper menu. They have a tablet right there. You're looking through it, and you get to order your food out. These people, they better invest into that. They better
you
learn
just
how
put it in
to
your
create
car.
that. They better
Or
learn how
just
to
put it in your
code
car.
it. Yeah, dude. Yeah, we gotta focus on those certain trades. Um, but
Dr.
like that.
Umar talked about that actually.
Mhm.
He was talking.
Okay,
That's one of the
okay.
things he meant. That was one of the things he mentioned. He's like,
Mhm.
you better get a trade because everything technical that they could get a machine to do, they're gonna
Mhm.
do it.
Mhm.
Best believe. Look at all the people that worked at the car places, putting together cars, and then now that the car wash,
Right.
all that stuff is everything's just gone. It's sad.
Yeah, no, it is.
Uh,
I mean,
Hey, nah, real quick.
go
Like,
ahead.
D, you're a videographer.
Mhm.
Like, how does AI? How do you think it's gonna affect you in the future?
It's
So
already affecting them.
yeah, so my views have changed from the last time we had this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Because when we first had this conversation, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be about 2, 3, 4, 5 years before AI becomes a thing.
Okay.
Oh, was I wrong? it's,
Dude,
it's moving fast. It's moving really, really like it's moving faster than what I thought. Like I thought it would be like at least 10 years away. Oh no. What you call it? There was what you call it? GPT just came out with a new video AI, and it's not perfect at all. You can see the flaws, but it looks really,
you
really
could
good.
you could barely see the flaws
Wow.
unless
Yeah.
you know what to
Wow.
look for.
No, no,
It
no. You
look
can see
they,
the flaws. The flaws are still there, but yeah, it's getting
in
harder.
hands. That's about it. The
Well, no,
hands.
enhance and how it
Wow.
enhance and how things like merge and how things
Okay.
go. So yeah, it's not perfect, but it's getting there.
Hands and little stuff only another videographer will be able to notice. The average person is not going to be like, oh, the lighting is not right. They're not going to notice that shit. But the average person is not going to know that shit looks real. They had a lady in a freaking on a train, and when she passed something darker, it like shows her reflection, and it shows like a city, and it looks like a real. It looks completely real. It doesn't look 3D generated. It doesn't look like it was something in the video game. No, it looks like real footage, and it's completely AI. It's crazy.
Yeah,
It is freaking crazy.
I mean, this is why when I was talking on back in the day about the writer strike and stuff, where like they're going on strike. The big thing is, if you think that 3-year deal is a good thing, no, they're probably only using that deal just to get everything in order. That's not a good thing. Like things about to change. And like what B said, you're gonna need to have a trade because yes, I use AI. I particularly use full transparency. I particularly use AI for this podcast, for the Clips channel. I'm not gonna lie, I have a lot of fun with it. I have so much fun learning about AI. I have so much fun like trying to create things with AI, but I definitely don't like the aspect of where it's going and how like people are basically losing our jobs. I mean, I'll be honest with you, like I don't know if we're gonna be in the Matrix world or in the Terminator world, but they both scare the crap out of me. you know, like I mean, I don't know if you heard this, but I know they actually had to stop. What is it? What did they have to stop? They had to stop. I think it's either Chat GPT 4 or 5. They actually had to
Mm-hmm.
pause development on it because there was a lot of warning signs saying that I guess they're starting to see signs where it seems like they're actually gaining intelligence and they're not liking that. So they actually had to pause development. So I would say just how fast and let me go back to the video. When it pertains to me with how fast technology is going, yeah, I could see myself being out of a job, I do agree with Jason though. Like there's certain things that only humans can do. Only humans can recognize that. I don't think a video like that AI would care about. But the thing is, I'm going to Shibity's point, is the common person won't care.
Right.
So it's kind of like, so like, yes, like if you're like an artist, yeah, people who are artists and who like art would care about that. But the common person who's making a comment, but like, why would he care when I can just type it in and do what I want? It's the issue with what's happening with photography, where a lot of people are coming out talking about why do I need photography when I could just take it on my phone. Actually, right now, a narrative it's actually coming out right now that I heard over the internet where they're saying that that photography is becoming a scam, even though it's not. But people are feeling like, yeah, if you're a photographer, it's becoming a scam, and that's starting to be passed around right now. So yeah, so a lot of these things, and
because they charge. It's because because of how they state it's charged. Like you could have a charge for a party, and you could do the same amount of photography, and a lot of times the photographer is going to charge you more for a wedding.
Yeah.
And it'll be the same amount of work. And so people are looking at it funny because unfortunately we're in a society that based work off of time, and more so than experience, more so than a lot of other factors. They just basing it off time and what they visually see is going on. So they think like, oh, they don't know why you charge what you charge. That's why a lot of times people got to have that receipt.
It's not even that they know why. They don't care. They just want it done. So if they could find a way to do it themselves to get enough faster, they rather just do it that way. Even though there may be issue here, cheaper. Like what you said about unless you're really looking at a video, people probably going to really care about the hands and stuff. And that's the thing. When it gets to the point where people don't really care about things unless you're looking at it, yeah, you're going to have problems because the only people that are going to care are people who really care about it. So no, AI is definitely, at least when it comes to video, it's definitely as scary because I think only in a couple of years,
look how far they are now. Imagine how far it's going to be in a year from now.
I mean, going back to music, I just want to go back to music real quick because it kind of goes back to like some of the old shows, I'd say some of the old anime series that I used to watch where they had basically artists that were AI. Well, actually, there's actually somebody like that in I forgot what her name is, but there's like literally a basically like a AI anime girl who's like a what do they call an idol, and they does music and she's pretend. And I'm like, that's about to come in, and like all that stuff is kind of scary. Like all that stuff, like everything that's happening with AI, because you're right. Like I've said it multiple times on this podcast. What are my two favorite movies? Idiocracy and WALL-E. I love those two movies because those two movies, and if you haven't watched them, if you watch them, like it is crazy.
I like Booty Talk 7. I'm sorry, I had to lighten the mood. It was getting too serious. Go ahead.
Oh my god, you threw me off. We threw me off of that one. But yeah, but I'm saying like those movies, which you never would think about it, but those movies are becoming like so close to reality. It's like it's scary, And so, when I look at AI, like so my views have definitely changed. I see the value in it. I definitely like using it. I like the conveniency of it. I like the speed of it. That's one reason why I use it for like the YouTube icons because it's so fast. I also like I don't have to really deal with copyright issues. That's another reason why I like AI, why I use it. So, but I think I've said it before. To me, the only solution that I could see to kind of control it is like laws. So, like one of the suggestions that I made was basically like if you use an AI art for like a cover or like a book or whatever, you can't copyright that.
Dude, everything is getting stripped from us, and some people are noticing, and a lot of people aren't. Like some people just don't care. Like, oh, like even movies and media, like movies and media they're gonna have to use AI because they're not gonna make the same money that they were making anymore. Because first of all, like physical media is outro. Cable is on its way out. Streaming is the new hotness, right? And then the people who don't want to pay streaming, they know how to get access to whatever they want to get. and then people don't want to buy digital media because they have a fear that they buy it, and if one day they feel like taking it off the server, then you just asked out.
It already happened. It already
Right.
happened. It already happened. I don't know.
Exactly.
That was actually another thing I was going to go into, but I'll just bring it up now since you talked about it. With Sony basically, I guess I think they reverted that decision from what I was reading earlier. But Sony basically had it because I guess they lost a licensing deal for some of the films that if you bought them digitally, people were going to lose access to it. And actually, right now, PS5
Yeah, I
owners,
heard about that.
yeah, and right now, PS5 owners right now, because there's a bug with the PS5 that people are basically losing their digital purchases. So
Yeah,
like even
some of
when
them. Yeah.
yeah, and
But
it's a
some
bug
of
that's
them,
going.
but some of them are, but what the thing about it is, it's hard to determine because some of them are talking about based off of their PlayStation Plus downloaded
Subscription.
games, which is different, which is what
Yeah.
I was concerned with when it started. Because when it started, I was like, one day, like I already had a game. Like I've already purchased this game, but now the game is on PlayStation Plus for free. Now I re-downloaded it, but I'm like, how is it going to know the difference?
No, from what I read,
You
no,
know?
it's actual digital purchases. So actual game digital
Right.
purchases.
No, because
That's
no,
what it is.
I saw a video and they were saying that it was people's games from PlayStation Plus was having an issue the most. Well, it was only affecting some people, not everybody was affected by
Yeah.
it.
No, it's not affecting everybody, but that's why, like right now, like I would tell everybody get physical media now because I don't know if you heard, but Best Buy just got rid of all the DVDs and Blu-rays. They're gone now.
That's what I heard. I wanted to get there before they got rid of it so I could catch a sale. But I was like, I wonder, because I saw a picture, but I haven't actually been in Best Buy to see
I've
because
been in Best Buy. I saw it. They're all that physical stuff is gone. I think the only thing they have now is records. That's all you can find.
yeah, because even when you go into like Target or Walmart or anything with like video games, you barely see any there.
Yeah, that's why my biggest suggestion to everybody go to the dollar store. I'm telling you, those are going to start popping up at the dollar store.
Mm-hmm.
So any other, and not only that, the other issue I have is when they make changes to movie. I'm not sure if you remember this the old Tom Hanks movie Splash, where basically
Mm-hmm.
they digitally added the girl's hair so they could cover her oh F it we're past that point. Where they digitally edited her hair so they could cover her ass. So that's another thing that people are
I
worried
think what
about
they're
too.
doing too is I think they're just replacing it with they have other footage. I think what they're doing is just putting the other footage there, putting the they switching the footage around like they did with Lilo and Stitch, because it wasn't this it, they had somebody had a VHS and it showed the differences. And I think what if from the look of it, I think since it looked as so like basically the same thing, I think what is they're doing is they're taking like the other footage and replacing the original footage, either feeling like it's going to be a better option or to avoid, certain shit for, different people's political views or gender offensive and stuff like
No.
that.
That's literally what they're doing. Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Hmm.
Yes, they digitally edit that stuff. Yes, that's literally what they're doing. They're. I mean,
Hmm.
what you call it? What was that movie? Oh, I forgot what it was. But yeah, no, there was a movie I was just listening to where they basically took out scenes, which is what we're talking about, anyways. I mean, even now, like when you talk about like that political stuff, what is it? Gone with the Wind. Like when you watch on Disney now, they have like a disclaimer talking about this may be bad for modern day norms and stuff. I'm like, what the heck? I get it, but I understand that was some past stuff. I'm not going to be mad at stuff that happened in the past because, like, if it was happening today, I'll be angry. But that was like 1960. I get that. I get that stuff happened at that time. I don't need a disclaimer to tell me that this stuff happened, so you must be afraid. It's like, no, I understand that was a product of its time. I don't know if you heard. How do you feel about non-citizens getting government jobs?
You can't even get government jobs. No, I don't really care. The only thing I care that the only thing this is what I don't this is what bothers me
Mhm.
is the fact that they're not they're trying to fix outside problems and they won't fix the inside problems. They're Karens. They worried about everybody else but just themselves. We have with homeless and unemployment is at such a high rate, and that's what needs to be focused on. And then you could raise minimum wage all you want to. That doesn't work. They've done that for years. It doesn't work. You could raise minimum wage $2,000 an hour. It won't freaking matter because everything else is going to go up to and 3 times that amount. So it's going to be right back to normal. So they need like better freaking solutions. I mean that's what the real problem is. Like the real problem is the fact that they're not taking care of the regular citizens, but it's by design. Why would you want to have cautious people? You want people that you can control. You have an immigrant, you can control them. If they act up, you can send them back. So they're not going to act out. They're not going to
What are you
do
talking about?
anything.
They literally are acting out. They're
No,
starting.
what I'm saying is there's only so much there's only so much they can do once they start getting the
Okay.
fear in them they get control of them. Also the fact that they're here and they're desperate. And when you have desperate people are desperate to survive, they're more likely to work for nothing, for beans. You know?
Yeah.
It's just
What?
it's just where we are right now, you know.
I mean, at this point, whoever gets a job, gets a job. At this point, we're far too gone from actually monitoring who's working where at this point.
Man, it's so bad. Like it's scary. Uncle Sam is so bad. It's scary if you want to try to run a legitimate business, because you know they're gonna want to take it all. They tax their people so bad. You take taxes out of our check, then you tax us on everything we buy. Then if we make any money, if we make any money on our own, you tax us on that. Then you put us in a higher tax bracket so you can take more money. It's a freaking scam.
And you want to know what's funny? You do understand that this entire country started by us being taxed like crazy, right? Well, I just say us, but this country, people in this country
It's
being
just
taxed like
modern day
crazy.
slavery. That's all it is. It's modern day slavery. Whenever when you were a slave, they just had it was you had to take care of your slaves. Matter of fact, after a while, it started looking frowned upon if you didn't take care of them, make sure they was basically like animals, like breaded, and they have a place to a cot, and they have some food. Now it makes it easier because now they don't have to worry about that, but they could get slave labor for cheap pay. So as long as they give you enough for room and board and a little food. But now what's the problem is now is room and board is so high. You got all these white collar homeless people who are just homeless just because they can't afford first, last, and the rent to go up every year. And so now they living in their car and having getting tiny homes or all this other crap because they can't afford to freaking live while holding a job. That makes no sense. Like it makes no. You should not be. We should not be in this whole called free and world and free land and the American dream. We should not be sitting here. If you have a job and you're doing what you're supposed to do as a human, in this society, you should be able to afford a place to live. And if you're not going to pay us enough to afford us a place to live, we should be allowed to go pick a spot on some land and build a house on it ourselves with whatever we have and be able to live there. Because by your rules, we can't freaking we can't afford to live. And that's what's messed up. So man, it's sad to me. You don't even have, there's no options. It's not like, in the olden days, you go out and like I said, go out, build you a cot somewhere, take ownership of some land or whatever the case may be. They own every freaking thing. Like that crazy fool say Orlando Brown, you paying us for grapes? For oranges, stuff that God got us for free. You charging us for water, you son of a. Next thing they're gonna be charging for air, like in what was that Arnold Schwarzenegger movie when they went to the other planet? What was the name of Total Recall? They're gonna be charging us for air in a minute. We're gonna have to pay to breathe. They already charging to commute to work in certain areas where you gotta pay to drive down the street. Like, ain't that ridiculous? Because of the force people to carpool or whatever. Like, it's just crazy.
What are you're talking about the new like what's called the fast lane and like the new post for the freeway?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah.
That's my fault. I didn't realize I'm mute still. I was talking. I was talking. I was like, hey, is everything good? But I'm here. I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, go ahead, B. Because
Nah, but no, it's a shame that like in New York, that you in certain sections of New York, you can't go through unless you pay a toll of $23 to enter into the city.
Gonna
$23?
it's gonna have districts like in the Hunger Games in a minute.
Uh-huh.
I mean,
It's like when I huh?
is that coming to the Bay Area too? I heard that that's also starting coming to the Bay Area.
Well, I already know they have tolls on the bridge, which is
Yeah,
also
of
BS.
course. Yeah, of course.
But I didn't know it was going to happen in that city as well. I didn't know.
Yeah, for some, I forgot exactly what it was. So don't quote me on this. But from my understanding, that yeah, something that they're trying to do to like add more tolls to like driving, whatever. I forgot what it was though. But they were trying to add some tolling. I think they said it was trying to help traffic. But again, this is based off my memory. Do not quote me. I may have got it wrong, but I heard something. I heard something like that.
Interesting. Yeah. That also. Well, even like in LA, I've been hearing for years that they're trying to put a toll on 405.
Hear that?
Huh?
I did hear that. I did hear that.
Yeah. Yeah. And that happens, boy, man. Now that's gonna be wild, bro. And they put a toll on the four. That's gonna be wild, man. I don't know how we're gonna react to that.
Sure, the minute it's gonna be like them other countries where the other countries where they treat their government like a bee. Like they be like, oh, for real? I think I don't know where it was, but I know I saw they had a government building, and a dude that cleans out the septic tanks just brung over the truck and just started shooting it all over the building.
Oh yeah, the farmer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
the farmer.
oh,
Yeah.
y'all want the taxes? Here's your tax.
Well, what's really sad though is and like I said, I've been kind of looking into this. Is that it's kind of sad that you could because that's how people get caught up when like they finally come into money. Is that a lot of people come into a large amount of money and forget that they had to pay tax on that. They spend all of this stuff and they have money left over. Then the government IRS comes in and say, nope, we need half of that money, especially here in California. Woo! That's how a lot of people get caught up when they come into money.
Yeah.
To me, that's just the saddest thing. Like that's one that I don't like is that, especially when you deal with people who are like financially illiterate, and a lot of us are. Like, I'm not going to act like I'm an expert at finances. I'm still trying to learn this stuff. It's complicated on purpose, by the way. But it just to me, it's just kind of sad. Like as I'm like kind of looking into like move up in my life, I'm trying to look into things. I'm like, man, like I can't believe. And I want to say this, I'm not against taxing people at a higher bracket, but I don't like the fact that you can move up in the world and then basically just get screwed by them just taking half of your stuff. Like I don't know. I just think there's just something wrong with that when people finally have an opportunity to lift themselves out of poverty, but there's things and there's resources and there's stuff out there to just bring them back down. Actually,
you're right, man. You're right.
No, go ahead, B. Go ahead, B.
Yeah, you're right, man. I mean, the fact that you literally losing about 50% of of your winnings That's absolutely criminal, man. Before you even have a chance to even touch it, you know,
Yeah.
before you even have a chance to touch it. Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
No. I was trying to see if Keys is there because I see he's on mute. No, I wanted to ask because you were the one
Where's
who
my
used
water coolers?
because you're the one who was telling me about the welfare system when people try to lift themselves up and then they basically don't take the job or whatever. You were saying something about that.
Are you referring to I said how it's a scam?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what you guys were talking about fully, but I'll just say what's going on with the whole welfare situation is everybody's complaining about people on welfare like they really are getting like first of all, they're complaining like they're really getting money like that, and they really ain't getting money like that. That's one. But the major thing is sorry, I'm like looking for my stuff and a lot of my stuff is missing. This is what happens when you have a wife that forces you to put shit up. You can't find nothing. Guys are just, when we got business to take care of, we leave stuff out so we can get to it. When that's I'm gonna get back on the subject, but you always know the person who's doing the most work in the office is that one that got a messy ass desk, and he know where everything is because he's actually doing work. The person with the perfectly neat desk ain't doing nothing for the company, but just looking pretty.
With that logic, I'm the hardest working person here, man. I got two desks and they're all messy.
um. Anyway, back to welfare. So, welfare is that you get down and out and you need help, but they put you in a position of dependence where when it's time for you to better yourself, it's almost as if they really don't want you to better yourself because you can no longer you can't support yourself, meaning if as soon as you decide to get a job, and if you're getting housing assistance and you're getting help with cash, guess what, they're going to cut you off. They're going to cut you off substantially. So that job that you get, guess what, now the place that you were in, that you've been living in, you can't afford to stay there anymore because they're not benefiting. So now you can't afford to stay there anymore. But then the job that you have, you can't afford nothing else either. So you get a job, you can't afford nothing else either. So you have people who will sabotage themselves at the
Hold
job.
on. Are you wait, what happened? You went far away.
They can keep their benefits.
Hello?
Just to live a mediocre lifestyle.
Hey.
Because
Yo, Keith, can you hear me?
it makes it difficult for people who actually want to make a difference in your life. Something as simple as childcare. Everybody needs help with childcare, especially, have you looked at how much childcare is? 300, 400, $500. People don't just have money like that laying around. People with money can't see that. But people who live in check, they know what that feels like. So, like for instance, years ago when I needed help and I got in on this assistance, we were like, hey, you know what? We're trying to do better, and we're trying to work and stuff. We just need help with childcare. Oh no, we can't do that. You have to be getting cash aid and food stamps for it to help you with childcare. So it's like it's a double-edged sword. You go get this help, but when you get, like I said, when you get this help, you become dependent. You have to be on it. And if you're not on it anymore, screw you. We're not going to help you. We don't really want you to get off of it. We want to keep that titty in your mouth so that we can control every aspect of your life. You know, and I know I'm kind of all over because I'm doing multiple things right now. You kind of asked me, oh shit, you can't even hear me. Hello?
Yeah, no, I could hear you. You just didn't hear me when I was trying to tell you something happened to your mic, but you were coming in okay.
Oh, okay. Because I got this Type C headphones in, and because my I know that Bluetooth wasn't gonna cut it, and then I'm moving around and it got disconnected. I'm looking for there's some materials I'm looking for. I can't find because I'm doing this art piece and I really want to get it done. Oh man, you can cut this shit out. I'm just I'm really struggling here trying to, it's one of those things like say if you have a certain pencil or a certain paintbrush or some stuff that you need and it's like, I knew it was right here and it's not right there and it's annoying as stuff. And that's the thing when you it's funny with guys, man. I know this is super off topic, but it's kind of like you seen that movie Think Like a Man.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, remember the guy who had the black girlfriend, what's her name, she played Eva. Anyway, he had his pad the way he wanted to have his pad. Now mind you, some of the stuff was bad. That old couch thing was kind of disgusting, but she came in and she wanted to change up everything and wanted stuff a certain way or whatever the case may be. And I'll be like, that's how females be. Like, they don't understand certain stuff. They just want stuff to look pretty, minimalistic, and that's cool. That's cool sometimes, but when you come from the gutters, like you got to do what you got to do. Like like in Everything Everywhere at Once, where she had a freaking laundromat and she was also living in a laundromat. It's like when you a minority, you got to do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna pay rent for for somewhere else to have all my stuff just to get work done when I got space to do work done just to make my house look pretty. Forget all that. So now I'll done put up everything in my dang on house, trying to be neat and shit. Not to mention all the times that she picks up something that she sees and just decides to move it because she doesn't want it there. Now I'm sitting here, can't find a damn thing, and it's driving me nuts. I'm like, where's my paint? Oh man, where's my pens? Where's my eraser? Where's my this? Where's my that? I'm sitting here going nuts right now, just looking for supplies. By the time I find my supplies, I'm not even going to want to work on this piece anymore. Now that I'm done babbling, go back to your podcast.
Yeah, actually, I got to dip out, gentlemen, handle some business right quick. But it's definitely a pleasure. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
next
man. No,
time, just, let me know.
I thought everybody else left. I thought it was just me, you, and me.
nah,
That's why I was bullshit, man. I thought everybody was gone, man.
everybody's still here. We were just letting you, letting you do your thing.
Still tapped in, man. I was just listening. I ain't have much to say. I was killing it today. So
yeah, if you want to shout your stuff out real quick.
Oh yeah, J Smooth from the J Squad. You can follow me at the Real J Smooth on Instagram. I'm a DJ as well. So
that's who that was. I was trying to.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
I ain't even know this whole time. I ain't know. Man, talking about he do music. Yeah, he do music. He did that shit on Stomp the Yard. Y'all tripping, man. You should have screamed that out, man.
I mean, yeah, y'all can check if you want to check out a little montage, a little real, jsquadbeats.com, calldjsmooth.com,
I used to like all his beats, man. That was when I liked something and clowning and all that.
Hey, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
Now they know who you are. Now that he knows who you are, now he can't stop fanboying.
I ain't fanboying, homie. I'm just giving the man his flowers while he's alive. Y'all, everybody else don't wait till he passes away. Be like, oh man, he was a good guy.
Yeah, that's how I usually go. Man, no, I appreciate the love, man. You know, and like I said, I'll definitely be back on in future ones. Just let me know, G. I got you.
Yeah, I'll definitely let you know, man. Thanks for coming on, man. Definitely appreciate it.
Indeed, brother. Bro. Have a good night.
You too, man. All right. So once again, I want to thank y'all for checking out another podcast. I want to thank Jason. I want to thank Keys, aka Shibidi, B, and Adam for being on this podcast. Definitely appreciate it. Make sure on your way out to like and subscribe. Let your people know about us. Follow, depending on where you're watching this at. Also, you can check the links down below to catch our podcast on various different podcast platforms. With that being said, I want to thank y'all. I definitely appreciate it. And we'll be back with the podcast next week. Have a good one.